And welcome everyone here to the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament at Speedgaming Live 2023. And coming up here for you right now, we're going to have Megawott and Scaryolive, two very scary runners here, and they're going to be doing battle to find out who gets to face off against Gem in the quarterfinals of this tournament. So here we go. We've got these runners. They've got their seeds. I am Adirondack Greg, being joined by Amerith. How you doing?
Hello. And also, I thought only one of these runners was scary. The other one's just mega.
Okay. How about we have a mega scary runner?
I think we can do that if we can manage to fuse them.
Yeah, perhaps we could. But we're going to go ahead and get this race going here in just a few moments. These runners already got their seeds up. You can see the code all set up here for these runners. They do match, so I guess we're really valid to have this seed getting going here. I guess because this is a casual boots variant here, we've got plenty of time to go ahead and talk about the runners and how far they've gotten to the path here. They've had to get through very scary, very dangerous, the very scary, very dangerous group phases. And then Megawott wound up having a situation where he had to do the play-in and just barely made it in.
Yeah, what place did he finish in that? It was like,
Well, we'll get to that in just a moment as these runners are off and running. As they have to get to the castle real fast, we'll get to see if they can't get that good old sub-5 here on this pathway.
yeah, like a 455 would probably be pretty good.
Pretty much. Start off with a bottle. And we can dash through the trees because we're going to be guaranteed that sword at the uncle. Now, so Megawatt ended up finishing 7th in the play-in, actually technically 8th, but because one runner finishing ahead eliminated the person who finished in 7th, Megawatt does get into the bracket phase as the uncle gives us a piece of heart. And I guess pretty much at this point, just it's the standard of escape. You know, oh, well, we get a hook shot.
Not quite a standard now.
Maybe a little bit better. We could use that to our advantage. Maybe launch ourselves towards a couple of chests a little bit faster than we would be able by trying to set up the dash.
Yeah, because ideally, you only want if you're doing dashes, you want to be dashing for 5 or more tiles, I believe it is. So anything shorter than that, if you can hook it, it'd be even better because you're moving at boot speed when you do hook shots.
So both of these runners here making their way through the escape get to see what we have. And there you go. You saw the hook shot right there in progress because Scaryolive knew that if he tried to set up another dash at that point, it was just going to take him a little more time. You see a little bit of an issue for Megawatt with the ball or the first guard. And the other nice thing about the hook shot is that right there, you can go ahead and hook those statues. You can also hook the keys to get them into your grasp a lot sooner.
Yeah, so I'll definitely be interested in seeing what else we can pull out of here. Escape, getting a bottle and a hook shot already. Though I'm always worried about seeing hook shot really, really early in seeds, just because that usually points to an Aga seed, but who knows, right?
I mean, we haven't found the lamp yet. We haven't found the cape. There's still some possibilities that prevent us from having to do that.
Oh, plenty.
But I definitely do understand the concern in regards to this race. And besides the two of us, we do have the always wonderful Lady Laura Linda here along with us doing the tracking, clicking the buttons, making the icons appear as they appear, or the runners find them in their inventory.
Well, that guard was just going everywhere.
You know, it would have been really nice to find a
mirror
right there, because then you can guarantee the sub-5.
Oh, yeah. It's my favorite spot to find the mirror. You just find it, you're like, yes.
So we've already found the map. We've already found the key to this. So we have 4 remaining items. What would you like to see in this final section of the escape?
Me being the person that... terrible person that I am, I'd like to see exactly a sword, a lamp, and a mirror. Maybe a moon pearl on top of that for good measure, but...
You know, if you're going to be evil, perhaps I can be evil just as well as you are. How about we give them the cape, the flippers, and the lamp, and the other item's just going to be junk.
Oh, okay.
Because there's your Aga calling card right there. And, of course, a lot of people know, when you get the hook shot lumped together with the flippers, that kind of shows an indication that you might need to swim then hook to get yourself over towards the left side of the dark world.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only free light cone you ever get in the standard modes is right here. I mean, we're talking to an audience that has seen this mode so many times. It's pretty much, what else do we say at this point?
I mean, you could always dispel a common misconception that you only have this light cone during the escape time, when actually, I believe it's just in standard opens that you do have the light cone all the time in the Hyrule Castle area. So if you don't get bombs and have to come back through the front for whatever reason, you do still have that light cone.
Yeah, that makes me remember back in the earlier days when we had to do the standard escape, and you're just sitting there, you're hoping that one of the enemy packs that you're going to get in the castle gives you that bomb, and then you sit there and hate your life when it decided to be the glove in the back 3 of escape, and you had to go right back through Hyrule Castle in order to get back there. All right, so arrows. I was hoping there was going to be 10 more arrows.
Yeah, that would have been like a jackpot.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got the 3 bars and a 7 there. No jackpot.
No jackpot, but hey, take some health.
And yes, because we're doing with a hard item pool here, we get a lot more heart pieces than we normally would see. Because what? The number of heart containers are capped.
It caps, I think, once you get to a total of, 14 total heart containers.
Hey, there's a glove. That would have been a really rude place to get a glove when... Or no, never mind. It would not have been a rude place to get a glove. It would have been a perfectly fine place to get a glove.
You could say it's quite handy.
Very much so. Now, one of the hardest things to remember, you have the boots at the end of escape. Do you remember to go into Bonk Rocks?
Absolutely never.
Well, then you're 20 rupees shorter. All right, map check here. We do see 2 crystals here in the light world, Eastern and Desert, pendant up at Hera.
Well, that was lightning fast even for me, and I do pretty quick map checks.
All right, 20 rupees there for Scaryolive. Let's go ahead into the Lost Woods. What do we have here on the drop down? All right, we are now 7/10 of the way to the Bottle of Thunder money, and we'll be able to get that over at the
blind site?
Blind site, yeah. All right, so I noticed that Megawott chose not to check this, and this is going to be a check. Oh, no, Megawatt's backing over, and
ooh,
was that a sword?
That was a bow.
Oh, a bow. Oh, boy. All right.
That's
Okay.
certainly an item to find on there. You really hope that the other bow is accessible somewhere.
And Megawatt was so fast getting that, just sliced up towards the north and pretty much decided that I'm going to head up towards the mountain instead of heading to the village. So, yeah, that's right. We had the glove. Check the Lost Woods, see what we had there. Make sure you didn't miss out on some thing that you really would love to get. So we're going to have diverging paths here as Scaryolive is going to go towards the village, appears, and Megawatt's just heading up to the mountain.
Yeah, he's going to get that save and quit point. It's going to be pretty nice for a little bit later. And I'm interested to see if he actually continues and goes through with checking the mountain before Kakariko here.
Yeah,
because you do have the hook shot, so...
Yeah, the biggest question here is what are we going to get as far as bombs are concerned? There's the
free bomb
map. So Megawatt doesn't have a bomb. We do kind of need a bomb in order to get to the bottom 2 or top 2, whatever you call it, for Paradox. And I think Megawatt knows that there. So just get the save point going here and come back when you do have bombs. Good tech there by Scaryolive, knowing, of course, when you dash into those bonk rocks outside of the fortune teller north of the village, you can get guaranteed bombs.
Yep, and then if you have a glove, the silver rocks there are some. I don't remember if it's all of them, but some of them to the right are 50-50 rocks for bombs.
All right, so Megawatt looks like he might be lining up to purchase bombs in the village, but it's going to go ahead and scout the Quarreling Brothers, which you can dash into the place there if you need to go ahead and grab that, but he's not going to do that for a piece of heart.
No, definitely not.
So far, our predictions as far as items are coming haven't really come to yet. All right, so more bombs there for Scaryolive. So if you went in there without a bomb, you would have been bailed out. But that's a tough move to make when you don't have any bombs.
It's a very scary move to make.
Especially when there's a Cane of Samaria back there.
I've been seeing a lot of really early Cane of Samarias in this mode.
Sometimes, and then there's other times where it decides it's going to put in the icebreaker chest there. I mean, we saw the race earlier, I think, with it over there.
Hey, there's that Master Sword.
Yep, there we go. So you know what that means.
We're a lamp away?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, it's certainly looking likely. There's still a lot left to check, though, and if you do get that lamp, that still just logically opens up Death Mountain on top of that, so it may yet be just a fake-out Agaseed.
And we're still missing out on a few checks over here. We just got what it was over at the chicken coop on Scaryolive's side. It's just 50 rupees. And we got the sick kid over here that we saw from Megawatt. He's just some explosives this time around. I think, really, at this point, you still got a lot of checks. You still have the South Shore. You still have the eastern area plus Sahasrahla.
Yeah, just keep pushing Agate to the back of your mind because there's still just so much left to go through, and just hoping that you find something along the way. Like a bow, that would be good.
Although knowing that a bow is there and that we need to do Eastern at some point in time, I guess the question is, when do you pull the trigger? Both runners do know that the bow is there. Both scouted the ledge.
Easily once you have the lamp, but I can imagine both these runners just being able to pull the trigger at least when they find Fire Rod.
Yeah,
maybe even before that.
Yeah,
if they're
Fire Rod
really comfortable.
Yeah, Fire Rod makes it easy to at least get through some of the tougher dark rooms of that that Agate Tower.
Yeah, it definitely makes them a little bit less scary. Like it's not as terrible, but still a little intimidating. I would want a couple more hearts maybe, but
interesting that Scaryolive is heading over to Aegina first.
I mean, it's definitely a bit to protect against like bad item in a bad spot. Like it's really easy to orphan Aegina. Like.
And Aegina is one of those places where it could easily become your last location. So if Scaryolive gets something good here and Megawatt chooses not to check it until later, that's big advantage here for Scaryolive, but not for 20 rupees.
No, not nearly enough. Well, we are at least nearing Zora money, so that's good.
Yeah, 470 for Scaryolive. Nice clip through the block there to get that heart container for Megawatt. And I think, you know, we're looking still at standard stuff. We're not looking at major deviations. What really has one runner in a different spot is the one who decides that they want to free the old man as opposed to not doing that.
Well, it's also Scaryolive went to the other old man.
Yep. When it's old man number 3 that probably has the goods.
Probably. I mean, you never know.
I mean, we got Mini Modorm Cave here with our first shield, more bombs. Okay, so there's our access to the mountain right there. There's our Fire Rod.
And an immediate save and quit, definitely to go activate that flute immediately.
Yeah. It is that Mini Modorm for Scaryolive, just giving him the business. Just grab him from the top.
Just hassling him.
And you know the shake of the head right there. Not happy with how that turned out to be. Because seconds do add up.
Oh yeah, that's what eventually bites you. All right.
And Scaryolive remembering that it is faster to activate the flute and then go to flute 8 than to not, even when you have boots. So we're going to go ahead and activate the flute right now.
So while I would like to see a really early ag play here real soon, I don't think we're going to see one just because there's still too many really dense locations open. So hopefully maybe find that lamp, a little bit more hearts, maybe actually find your natural Dark World access.
We're going to head over towards Eastern for Megawatt. Now this is our best chance for divergence. to me, right now, my mind is swirling on the east side of Death Mountain.
Yeah, I think Megawatt's just trying to sort of capitalize on
Yep.
that he's already got the save and quit point, get all these other checks out of the way, maybe find something else that makes Death Mountain a little bit more appealing, like maybe find the hammer or the mirror so that he can get into Hera, or maybe find the other gloves so we can do Super Bunny Cave and potentially hook shot if the Moon Pearl is up there.
Or maybe find the shovel.
Or maybe find the shovel.
All right, we're going to flute away. We're not going to go into Eastern because I totally get it. You know where one of the bows is. It's not in logic right now. And we're going to go immediately check to see what this shovel is, see if this yields anything important.
I mean, I could dig it.
I know you can dig it, but can Megawatt?
I believe he can. He has the right tools.
Are you sure?
I hope so.
Oh, it's just a piece of heart. All right, Scaryolive does have 500 rupees. Let's go dive into the water and get ourselves some free checks up here as Megawatt saves the old man, and then we'll go into the mountain.
But we missed the water. We didn't dive into the water. We're just on top of it.
It's shallow water.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know that there's 2 different layers of blue there, but it's all shallow water. It's just
It's
discoloration.
for show.
Nice.
Ooh, that
Very
is definitely
bottled.
what you want to see.
Yeah, getting blue goo is definitely a nice find. Getting that book, probably not as great, but still nice to have for routing purposes.
I mean, it opens up desert and makes it clearable, so that's 2 items that you can still go to before Aga. It sort of puts Ether Tablet a bit on the mind. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that are still like swarming just seeing that book come up that aren't necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily say that they're bad.
Yeah. And the big question here is, where are the flippers to put them? Never mind.
Right there.
Right there. You ask for it, you get it. All right. There's our Aga kit. I mean, I know we already have Glove to get over.
Well, we'd still need the Moon Pearl to make all it actually work, but...
It's just going to be on the pyramid.
Oh, but Moon Pearl's never on the pyramid.
All right, Scaryolive is going to go ahead and grab this book and see what it yields, even though Scaryolive does not have the flippers that will put it into logic. Hey, there's our half magic.
They certainly did cut it in half in this mode.
All right, here we are, Crystal Desert. I mean, we just need to beat all 7 of them to defeat Ganon, so you might as well at least progress towards that goal.
Yeah, it's not getting too much faster, especially with the fire rod, and you have boots, so you can get whatever's on the torch, and you can full clear this pretty easily. What was that? I missed it.
Those are the Mitts in Spiral Cave.
Interesting.
All right, so we're going to get a small key over here in the big chest because we just saw 10 arrows on the torch. Now, those mitts that Megawatt just pulled, very interesting because you could grab 2 more checks, which are out of logic, if you really wanted to, but you spend the risk of isolating Hookshot Cave, making it less valuable. So in just a moment here, we'll have that corrected on the display with Megawatt having the mitts. As Scaryolive goes towards the back of Desert. And Megawatt's going to go and do the storing of the water walk in a different way, or the using of the water walk in a different way, or the water dash, whatever you want to call it.
And checking the item. Are we going to go up to see the camper? Looks like it.
That's right. We did not see the man under the bridge, or the hobo, whatever you want to call him, on Scaryolive's side. Because he didn't want to lose his water dashing stake, because we don't have the Moon Pearl, so getting the checks out of the waterfall cave would have not have been possible if he decided to go back and do the fake flippering off the hobo. Now, we did see it's only 3 bombs, so it's not big of an advantage here for Megawatt. But if it was something, it would have devalued the play for Scaryolive.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the things that you want to try to minimize is just making certain areas worth less. Like one of the things that someone had told me a while ago, and I'm really trying to take it to heart with my routing, is just like if you're gonna orphan an item, try to leave it so that you have something to do near that item as well to make it less of a terrible orphan.
All right, boss number 1 down for Scaryolive. First one to collect a crystal at the 18 near 19-minute mark of this seed. Here at Speedgaming Live 2023 in Herndon, Virginia. You having a good time?
Oh, I've been having a blast. Like just meeting people and getting to see people for the first time, playing people that I have been wanting to play for a while again, but actually getting to play them live. It's been just absolutely crazy.
Yep. Meredith, part of the group phase of this tournament. Your group was stacked, wasn't it?
It was fun. I got to lose out to Dante and Gamma, but I kept it really close on them, so that was pretty fun.
It's always nice getting to play people like that in person, too.
Mm-hmm. As we see the last item coming up here in Desert in just a moment.
There's our hammer.
That's not a Moon Pearl.
Well, that makes the mountain a little more lucrative for Scaryolive. Now, that does grant us access to Pendantera, but the well is starting to really dry up, and we don't have logical Aga access yet.
I was gonna say, are we gonna have a vanilla Moon Pearl here? Is that what's gonna happen?
No, it's just going to be the lamp of the Moon Pearl on the pyramid. I'm still banking on that, Amerith.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think it's more likely lean towards the Ether Tablet, not the pyramid. But
ooh, that's right, because Scaryolive with that book, and again, Scaryolive doesn't know what the logic is for that book. Well, we'll get the pieces when he does go to Paradox.
Yes, the book will be very much on his mind when he gets there, and it's a quick, easy check too. So,
and that's also a tough check for Megawatt.
Because now it's really kind of out there.
And you do have to stomach a longer trip up that mountain. Sometimes the way you do things, the order of operations, can make a big difference towards the running of a race.
Oh, absolutely. Like the number of times you have to climb Death Mountain and...
Like, if you compared notes of the 13 people who played that play-in race last night, you probably would see cases where order of operations was huge.
And influenced them on where they wanted to go or where they felt they needed to go.
And if you haven't seen the play-in race, we do have broadcasts of it on Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 last night. What a crazy night it was here. As 13 people vying for what was 7 spots total into this bracket phase. Bracket phase is a single elimination best of 1, and it's got to be best of 1 because these runners here, this is the round of 16. They've got to get this and the quarterfinals done today so they can do the semifinals and then finals tomorrow here before the event wraps up tomorrow night.
Now, quick question, Rick: is the finals is that also best of 1 still, or does that go to best of 3?
It's all best of 1.
Okay.
Because 4.5 hours maximum of rando could be a lot of rando.
Some of these runners are used to it. They play cross keys and stuff, right?
True. I definitely know Megawatt is one of the scary ones in the cross keys circle. I know Scaryolive plays it too.
They're both pretty scary at that.
Yes, but as you mentioned earlier, only one of them can really be scary.
And the other one can be Mega. Man.
And Megawatt going back into Desert. We'll get that hammer in just a moment. All right, so we're down to really 2 main options remaining, which is where Scaryolive is now and the eastern area. It's not with a book and 2 swords.
So here we get to see if we have a vanilla Moon Pearl or not. Or if maybe French vanilla. Who knows?
And we see a compass already. When the item numbers are diminishing... Okay, there's the big key. Never mind. I was going to ask you the question. When the items are starting to diminish, would you make the play to do this Harapon instead of going to get that big key, if the big key was vanilla?
I would probably skip the big key and just hope that the rest of the items were at the top and just accessible. Because overall, it saves time, and I think it's not a lot of net loss just to skip it and have to come back for it.
Ooh, Vanilla Moon Pearl!
Oh, game, you are funny.
Very funny. Straight up vanilla.
And then obviously we will clear out the Moldorm while we're here because he's such a quick fight.
Yeah.
May have that last item. Could be something important. But I don't feel like we'll be jumping into Hera Basement here after we finish Moldorm here.
Mm-hmm. Scaryolive will go to Spiral Cave. That will be the mid, and then Scaryolive will go back up to the mountain to, or head into the Dark World to check the Hookshot Cave as well as the Super Bunny Cave. And unfortunately for these runners, one of the items is downstairs. Megawatt's going for that bow.
Ooh.
Spicy.
No, I'm not sure if Scaryolive necessarily goes for Spiral Cave here, because he may just flute off the mountain and go to start going into like Hype Cave or all that.
No, he is going to the Spiral Cave.
All right.
This is a tough one because, like Megawatt with these 3 checks over here in Hera, it's kind of an isolated check if you put it behind, and I mean, people who know me know how it is with regarding Spiral Cave. It becomes a real hard... Okay. I don't know what this cave is. It just becomes a really hard place to return to.
Mm-hmm.
There are the mids for Scaryolive, and he remembers, oh yes, I should probably check these 6 chests and also get the item that is going to be... Or get the medallion information for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I think a bit of that was also just like reflex, because it's like you open that chest and then you start spamming the save equip, because more than likely it's going to be junk.
All right, we have a pendant pod. We have a green pendant. Vanilla red crystals, really? Green
Very
pendant
really.
swamp.
In order even.
Yep, 5, 6, ice, and mire. My goodness. I'm tasting so much vanilla, it should be those milkshakes across the road from us. Shout out to that convenience store that opened up between last year and this year. Sponsorship opportunities are available. Check with Visa.
Yeah, give SG a couple, more than a couple bucks, and we'll say some names.
Yes, we will. All right, so we got Super Bunny coming up here for Scaryolive, and the battle through the dark room here. Out of magic is Megawatt. This is tough.
Did Megawott get the blue potion?
No, I don't think he traded in that bottle. Our container for Scaryolive, one of the very few we're going to see. Okay. Oh, it falls back down. So we are listening really briefly very limitedly to the audio here from Megawatt. And shoutouts also to the Kirby's Epic Yarn MSU that he is using for this. Bombos for the medallion for Turtle Rock. So... yeah, Megawatt's using the Kirby's Epic Yarn MSU package, which is one of his creations.
Oh, did he do that one?
Yep.
Hey, there's a second bottle.
I remember having a nice conversation with him after I played him Cross Keys last year about his creation there. All right, so Megawatt's through the dark rooms, heading up to the 5th floor. Shortly. There we go.
There we go. You made it.
Just got to be careful because these enemies will do 1 heart damage. Or not these ones, but the guards next door will do 1 heart damage. And Scaryolive realizing that he probably doesn't have enough hearts to go do Spike Cave in this instance. So he's going to go ahead and choose to bow out. And he'll come back to that later on.
Yeah, I definitely think he intended to do it and just didn't, or sort of underestimated how much damage the Lionel would do getting hit by it, or thinking that he could dodge it in a way.
Yeah, I think he probably was hoping that he could get around it, and unfortunately that was not to be the case. And Megawatt realizing that he's not in a very comfortable position right now, so good job just stunning the guard before heading up here to the final floor. So for those of you that are just tuning in, Megawatt's doing this because we know that there is a bow on Lumberjack. Now, we don't know, obviously, what bow that is. We could very well find the bow somewhere else, the second bow, that is.
And I definitely see his logic in it because it's like, it could just be that, like, say, the lamp is an Eastern, and then you're meant to go do Aga to go get your first bow to get your Moon Pearl off of Armos. And I can definitely see that line of thinking, especially with so few checks left to him. And not really wanting to return to the mountain for a third time already.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Megawatt, the easiest way back to Hera is in the Dark World. So he is going to unfortunately have to stomach that return trip up the mountain. And the long way up the mountain at that.
Oh, yeah.
So we got the Thieves Town coming up here for Scaryolive, 4 items inside. I have not been keeping track of how many blue balls Megawatt's been dealing with. It's already too many.
It's more than 0, it's already too many.
Mm-hmm. So I think this is now the second lightning cycle.
I believe you're correct.
Yep, it was the 2. All right, Dark World access for Megawatt. What do we have on the pyramid? And you saw Scaryolive aligning himself against that block so he could do the key dash here in Thieves Town. Unfortunately, lost a little bit of his momentum going towards that door, so the Fire Snake decided he was going to give him the business.
Yeah, well, Thieves Town will do that to you. If you're not paying attention, just the enemies will just knock you out.
Yeah, especially those Zazacs, because they do 2 hearts damage. You can lose a lot of health real fast in this dungeon, especially also given these crickets. All right, here we go. Bow for Megawatt. So I'm trying to think, what? Indeed. I hate thinking this right now, but we're quickly getting into a potential of a certain thing that chat loves to talk about, but
I have no
runners
idea what
hate.
you're talking about.
Well, that's because you're a runner. You hate to talk about it.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't exist.
Okay, it definitely doesn't exist, but also this is going to be a key locked behind the key door, so let's head to Blind and let's go ahead and finish off this dungeon.
I believe we still have an item left to find on Blind.
I want to say yes, because we did see the compass, right?
Yes, and that was the map in Zelda Cell.
Yep. So we are guaranteed to get the 4th and final item here in Thieves Town. But this will be crystal number 2 for Scaryolive. Megawatt heading over here Eastern. We got 20 rupees in the first check, and now we got the big key in the map check. And unfortunately, Scaryolive is off script. Should have enough health to get through it. Nice use of the Cane of Samaria to at least ensure the hit on Blind. Got blocked by the head, but there we go.
I always worry seeing Samaria come out during the Blind fight, just because bad things can happen with Samaria when bosses are blowing up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Those things.
A little bit of trauma there for some people.
Have you ever dealt with that?
Yes. Not me personally, my teammate, but yes.
Magic Cape in the big chest of Eastern.
Ooh.
Sea House for Scaryolive, 300 rupees inside. So Scaryolive's next play is going to be over here to Skullwoods region, I would have to assume. Or perhaps we will do the bread, or part of the Breadsmith chain before Skullwoods.
Speaking of vanilla, that is a vanilla 300.
Yes, it is. That, unfortunately, is not vanilla.
It is blue, though. There is a potential find. Can you find the blue boomerang there, or can it only be the red boomerang?
I believe it's the red. I believe it's the red boomerang or 300 rupees. It all depends on whether or not you've grabbed that blue boomerang. Because in 100% NMG, they'll forego that blue boomerang, so that is the guaranteed red boomerang they'll pick up in that chest. All right. Oh, off here with the Armos. And you also have to remember that some of these runners are dealing with setups that they're not used to here at SGL with the equipment and whatnot. So sometimes you will see runners be a little bit out of sync compared to what they're used to. All right, so that's item number 3 for Megawatt. That big key chest is not going to come into play this time around. Saw how it could very well come into play earlier in one of our races.
Yeah, with Megawott putting up that cape, I'm very interested to see if there's something up on Bumper Cave.
Yeah, that's one I've been waiting for Scaryolive to head in that direction for. All right, Megawatt's pretty much resolved. My progression is going to be over here in the Hera region in one way or another. But first, we're going to check the Spectacle Rock because Megawatt did not earlier. Just pieces of hearts there.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I think this is all that Megawatt has left, is what little he has left on the mountain.
Mm-hmm. I think really for Megawatt at this point in time, it's tough because obviously Scaryolive has had a jump start on getting through this dark world. Well, we take a look at what we have in our possession right now. We're still missing quite a few items. And we're still also trying to figure out how we're supposed to get that lamp.
Have we got anything that's light blocked yet?
But no, we haven't.
Then it's not necessarily required. All it does is it makes Meyer a little bit easier.
That is true. Single arrow, unique items in K45. Remember when we used to have hints?
Unfortunately.
I know other commentators during this event have brought that up, but that was always the saddest thing. When you wound up getting a unique item is in a horrible location. So you go to that horrible location, hoping that was the hint for the boots. And then it's the single arrow. Also, shout-outs to Bread, who was the runner that was known for coming up with this setup that you just saw from Megawatt for the, and I know Scaryolive did it earlier, for the Hera pot here.
That particular version of Hera pot.
Yes. Bread did not come up with Hera pot itself, but came up with that much easier, much safer way of doing it.
And honestly, much quicker in most cases.
Yes. Megawatt has gone downstairs, has chosen not to go and do the Helmsar, or no, just leaving. Okay, we want to get into the right side of the mountain. Okay, I see what we're up to here for Megawatt. I was thinking for just a moment there, Megawatt was going to make a play towards the basement of Hera, which we do know is an item.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Hype Cave coming up here for Scaryolive, and then I don't see any reason why Scaryolive is going to stay away from Swamp Palace. Although it's a green pendant, but you've got every piece to finish it. So I guess I should ask you, do you finish it? Or do you go off to maybe see what Myers got for you over there at the Myers shed?
See, Swamp wouldn't necessarily be on my mind because I'd be wanting to head probably to Pod, if anything.
Well, that's right, because Scaryolive has more items over in that general area. It was Megawott who checked the eastern area, right?
Yes.
Because I know Megawatt did do Eastern itself once he picked up that bow, but I think he also was the one who made the play for the Sahasrara stuff. All right, so we're not going to see anything new for Megawatt coming up here in just over the next few minutes. Because more of along the lines of everything that Megawatt is going to see, we have seen from Scaryolive. Unless Megawatt takes that trip over towards, wow, that arrow. I thought he was going to not be able to get grabbed by the bird because he wound up getting hit. Oh, never mind, because we are going to ice. This here... No, we're going to go fill up our bottle. Okay, we're both filling up our bottle. Here we go. Let's get some free blue goo.
Are we both heading into ice here?
I think both are heading into ice. I mean, it's a beatable dungeon at this stage. And, of course, we have the greatest tool ever.
What's that?
The Cane of Samaria.
Oh, yes. The key to Ice Palace.
Yeah, until the key turns out to be in the Ice Palace big key chest, which was in one of these races earlier today.
I mean, sometimes just the key to the dungeon has to be in its own dungeon, right?
Key underneath the doormat.
Even so. Could be the case with Meyer this seed.
Okay, so unfortunately, Megawatt getting pushed by the Pentagators. We see hookshot strats here for both runners. And we start off with a small key. And we see two different myths towards this dungeon. Megawatt choosing to go already over here,
Flip that switch.
as opposed to Scaryolive, who's flipping the switch. And for Megawatt, this is a play that burns him if the big key is in the iced tea chest. Everyone has a different setup for how they do this icebreaker. Unfortunately, Scaryolive's having a hard time lining up the pixel. There we go. Over and across, and there's the 50 rupees. All right, so Freezors. There's our big key. All right, so two chests remaining inside of this Ice Palace. They're both going to be items at this stage. Iced tea. And on Cold Stare. All right, so what do you think's on Cold Stare?
It's really hard to say at this point because you know the bow. The only thing really useful that could be on there is like a medallion, maybe powder, flute, or not flute, lamp. You know, that thing. Same thing as flute, right?
Lamp and iced tea.
Well, speak of the devil. It's just not on Cold Stare.
Okay, so I called out flippers. We found flippers. You called out lamp. We found lamp.
I also technically called Moon Pearl. I did say Vanilla Moon Pearl.
Yes, you did. Blame Amarith, everyone.
Oh, is that the new emote that we're going to be getting in League soon?
I mean, we already have one for Dante and Drossi and Sigma. Why not have one for Amarith? And while we're at it, get one for Relkin, too.
Yeah, we got to come up with something good for Relkin.
What?
What? I said we got to come up with something good for Relkin.
Any suggestions? chat giving us any good suggestions over here? Probably not. All right, cold stare fight for both of these runners coming up in just a moment for Scaryolive. Right now for Megawatt.
Duplicating a couple beams onto the cold stare ice to.
Oh, took a hit first time. Got to be a little more careful. You got the blue. Don't forget you have the blue. But this becomes a lot more stressful once cold stare gets out of the corner.
Yeah, I think cold stare is one of my more comfortable fights on the current way that we play on what is the normal ROM instead of the whole fast ROM thing that has started coming around. Just because you can sort of play to the advantage of the lag of the ice coming down to sort of slow your movement down enough to know and sort of see where the puffs are going as they're coming down, you know?
All right, so Scaryolive going to use that blue. And, oh, Scaryolive missed the timing too. All right, so no difference as far as the stress level of this boss fight for these two runners. Scaryolive is going to swallow that second potion. I mean, we have 900 rupees. We can easily flute to 2. And cold stare down for Scaryolive. And Scaryolive is shaking his head at that boss fight, but little does he know on his left side or right straight in front of him, Megawatt had the same kind of issues with that boss fight.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're never going to really be thinking that while you're in an active rage situation. You always have that feeling in the back of your mind, like, oh, my opponent's doing everything exactly better than me. He was having a perfect fight, found the items just in the right order. Like
GFE in chat saying roast Welkin. Oh my goodness, how about that one? Big shout outs to here to Lady Laura Linda for doing the tracking for us and pointing out that comment to me over here.
We'll workshop that one. We'll get back to you, GFE.
All right, Megawatt's going to be doing the Village of Outcast now. I missed it if we even had a chance to see what that medallion is to get into the Mire area.
I didn't look. I didn't see if we...
And, of course, our chat tracker giving us the Quake. Thank you very much.
So did Lady Laura Linda call that one because she said Quake as we opened Quake?
Perhaps. Oh, so the key was underneath the doormat.
Yes.
Great. All right, so now we're 1-1-1.
Mm-hmm. Who's going to win?
Let me see. Well, chat's always going to win.
Yeah, they usually do.
There's nothing we can do. The runners aren't going to win. We're not going to win here at commentary. The audience behind us here are not going to win. It's going to be chat, and chat's just going to win all the time.
But what if the audience behind us is also in chat?
Well, hi there, chat. You know, that's the funny thing about being here live in person.
Getting responses?
Getting responses like that one. All right, back here. Scaryolive's going to go into Misery Mire. It's a dungeon we need to do, and it's also part of our 5-6, and we do also realize, hey, we have Quake as our medallion, so that bird's not going to freeze or roast. We got to well, never mind. I thought he was far enough off the screen that he wasn't going to get pulled forward, but unfortunately, Scaryolive is not going to have beam swords for Mire 2.
Only minorly unfortunate. So what are we looking for now? We're looking for Ice Rod.
We are also looking for bombos because we know we need that for Turtle Rock.
That's right, okay. I forgot if we had seen Turtle Rock or not.
And Scaryolive still needs to grab a bow, which one of them we know, again, was on the Lumberjack, which Megawatt did. The other one...
Who knows?
Who knows?
I think Scaryolive is definitely kind of just banking on it'll hopefully show up along the path, so that way, completely cut out Aga 1.
And, who knows? You could have a situation here where you could have a blocked bow. I mean, it wasn't in Eastern. Palace of Darkness could be a thing, although with Mimic Clip it's a little bit less scary, but it's a tough call to make when you have no bow to go into Palace of Darkness, although we did have one race earlier today where both bows were in pod. We've had some crazy seeds here at SGL.
The bot's been getting pretty inventive with where to put the items lately.
It has. All right, so what emote are we going to create for Sinek?
We love you forever and ever and ever.
If we're going to roast Relkin, what are we going to do with Sinek?
I don't think my response is safe for SG. There's nothing wrong with said statement, but I don't think I can say it on the air. I'll tell you later.
I do agree we need to praise Sinek. Sinek has created a lot of great things to help get us through Link to the Past Randomizer as a whole, but more importantly, the tools that we need for SGL. Yeah, we definitely do need to clone Sinek.
Yeah, we still got to work on the technology for that first.
I think Sinek could improve that, and then he could be all 24 riders on a roller coaster.
I'm sure he'd enjoy that, most definitely.
Could you imagine that? 24 Sineks on a roller coaster.
That's too much energy.
Well, just like this commentary, it might just be going off the rails.
Well, at least we did find our second item here in Meyer, so we don't have to visit the left side at all, which is nice.
What? You mean no cutscene?
No cutscene chest.
It can't have something to burn a runner this time?
Not this time. Maybe next time.
Stay tuned for the next roving edition of Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. Will there be something in cutscene chest?
Yes.
Amarith's already calling her shot.
And we're going to get our first look at Skull Woods here, too, on Megawatt's side.
Yes, this is a check that we have not seen at all from Scaryolive when he was in the region earlier doing Thieves Town.
Which kind of surprises me, considering that we did have the fire rod going in, so... You know, why not clear out your crystal dungeons while you're in the area?
That was weird how that thing was falling during the celebration, the chess celebration there. And having Candace Mario makes this room a whole lot less complicated.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, shout out to the lag there with that hand falling down.
So nothing so far to Skull Woods. We've just seen a key and a map.
Yeah, Megawatt went straight for that chest to the right.
Map chest.
The map chest. And then went over to this direction here. Scaryolive going up against Vitreous. This is a fight. It is a fight that exists.
It's a very laggy fight. And then Megawatt going for the item under the bridge first, considering that we have not found an item yet, so it is very likely that there's an item under here, which is the powder.
Magic powder, which is interesting, because Megawatt, when he does the rest of the chain, can go ahead and check that.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say it opens up a check. It's a nice safety overall for the rest of the game. Definitely kind of pulls the pressure off once we get into the GT climb.
Alright, so Scaryolive trying to finish off this fight. One eyeball remains. And because we didn't pick up the bow yet for Scaryolive, it's just time to bounce the eye into the wall. I think we're playing a good old game of, what is it, racquetball?
Racquetball was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of as well. Alright. Mothula is down. Scaryolive questioning his racquetball skills. There's our second item, Skull Woods. Both in the back, so that's it. We're done. Alright, so where is this Bombos? We also need the ice rod. We've never seen a scene that's come down to an ice rod hunt.
Never, no.
Never, ever.
Doesn't exist.
There's not a mode that is called True Ice Rod Hunt mode. Never. All right. just a little piece of love and a little bit of reassurance from Megawatt, and probably now giving less priority to wanting to do pod or swamp.
And just like that, chat's hopes and dreams are crushed.
Let's see, Chet. Are your hopes and dreams crushed? Yep, we're going dead and on and whatnot. So, yep, your dreams have been crushed, and come back later for more Link to the Past randomizer, where you get to find out whether or not your hopes and dreams continue to be crushed. When's the next race going to be? Well, we do know there's going to be another race coming up here at 4 o'clock, which is not going to be on the stream for us, unfortunately, due to limitations at this point, but we are going to get it on the air, or we're going to have it downstairs, that is. Oh yeah, that's right, 5-6. Duh, it was vanilla 5-6, so why not do the...
Comboed with the fact that Scaryolive hasn't seen the pyramid yet.
And now Scaryolive may decide to go into Agate Tower knowing that the bow is there.
Yeah, I could definitely see that play. I could really kind of like that. Because then he just has to clear Skull Woods and then thinks, oh, well, I just gotta find Ice Rod. Because has Scaryolive seen TR yet or no?
Oh, don't think so. There's a sword upgrade, though, at Pyramid Ferry.
A vanilla sword, who would have thought?
Vanilla sword, vanilla moon pearl.
Look at that smile, definitely happy about finding
vanilla
that sword.
red crystals. Gee. And here comes the Aga play for Scaryolive. It was a 3 blue ball for Megawatt, so we can count to 3, but we're not going to do it by our fingers. And Scaryolive has some better equipment for this than Megawatt did, who had to do this in the dark.
Which Scaryolive will have to do as well, but has a little bit more magic, has that tempered sword now. Quake Rift things get a little bit dicey.
So as these runners are making the checks for that we've already seen from both, be sure to give them a follow. Megawatt and Scaryolive. As I mentioned before, Megawatt is the creator of the MSU that you are hearing, the Kirby's Epic Yarn, and both of these are just phenomenal people that are here at Speedgaming Live in Herndon, Virginia. In the first round, the round of 16 of the brackets for Link to the Past randomizer. Quarterfinal round is going to be starting to take place a little bit later on. I just mentioned that match at 4 o'clock that unfortunately is not going to be on a restream stage, but that will be the first of the quarterfinal matches, semifinals and finals tomorrow.
So when all is said and done here, where the runners are at right now, what do you think we do hit as the next peak around for progression? Do we go for pod or do we go for swamp? Because there's not really much left.
That's a tough one, because of how deep that lamp was in Logic that unlocked that first bow. And I'm more than certain at this point that was the first bow, unless something pops up in Swamp that says that there's a bow there too. My mind is starting to think that the progression is in pod.
Yeah, I would agree with you. And if it is, Scaryolive is in a little bit better position than that, because once he finishes Aga here, you can pick up that bow. He'll be going to the pod area to do Eastern anyway, and just keep it at a mirror away in case he doesn't find what isn't there in Eastern.
And it really just came down to, as we mentioned, order of operations for Megawatt. Unfortunately, having to stomach a second trip up the mountain to go to Hera, because he didn't have the hammer the first time in, which resulted in him having to go back for the Moon Pearl in the Hera Big Chest.
Well, that's not to say that I necessarily think Megawatt is behind. It's really hard to call who is right now.
Yeah. It really comes down to where this next stage of progression is, because we're still at a point where there are forking paths.
Like, Megawatt has more dungeons done. He's about to have his 6th crystal here in a little bit, but he still has to do Smith Chain. He still has to find the actual progression, be it in Swamp or Pod.
All right, second Aga lightning phase there for Scaryolive. And there's the finish of that fight. Nice dash strats there by Megawott.
Now here's one thing that I always see that's very divisive among people is, do you flute to 8 from here, or do you go run down to the bottom pyramid, mirror, and make the run up to the lumberjack tree?
Ooh.
Because I've heard it's faster both ways, but I don't know who to believe.
I think this is where Structural Mike just needs to get on and give us the timings. We'll get the report from the sidelines from Structural Mike coming up here in a little bit.
I think Megawatt will have a little bit easier of a time on Viddy here with the cape over that
Yes.
laggy cane of Verna.
Yeah, because doing the cape is obviously going to allow you to get the tempered level here. And, of course, getting the 8 bow hits, the arrow hits onto the eyeballs here, definitely a lot faster than bouncing it into the wall.
As well as the lack of lag generated from the cane.
Yes, indeed. All right, 5 crystals down for Megawatt. 4 crystals down for Scaryolive.
6 for Megawatt.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6.
You got to remember, my origins is being a Z1 runner. I don't know how to count.
Hey, we've already determined that no one in this community can count. Everyone has counting problems. Herf had one earlier today. I had the exact same problem. Someone else had the exact same problem reading the math on the prize pool and stuff like that. No one in this community knows how to do math.
What is 10 plus 10?
7.
Thank you. I think this is where we get Elsoa over here and try to do some math. We'll just make Elsoa the mathematician of SGL.
Works for me.
All right, continuing the day, Virgin's Paths. One going to Pod, the other going to Swamp, it looks like.
Well, I'd imagine that Scaryolive does Eastern first, but is setting up to go to Pod if he has to.
Makes sense. Actually, no. I didn't realize that Megawatt had yet to do Hype Cave.
Yeah, there's a lot of these little overworld checks here and there that Megawatt just has not been to, and that's sort of why he feels a lot more in the lead than he is compared to Scaryolive. Because, like I said, missing the Bold Blacksmith Chain.
Yep.
We haven't looked at North Dark World yet from either runner, actually, I think.
What's that?
We haven't looked at North Dark World.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You know, that graveyard ledge and bumper ledge.
Yeah, that bumper ledge.
That looming bumper ledge, because we have that cape that's here in Eastern.
That bumper ledge hasn't hurt any of our runners here at SGL this
tournament.
No,
never. Or in any tournament ever. As Megawatt's making his way to do Pyramid Fairy and going to claim his 3rd sword.
All right, so now chat's putting out a prediction here.
Uh-oh, what are we predicting?
So chat seems to be coming up with the idea that we might be seeing a particular cold rod on a fishy creature.
A fishy creature? What creature might you be talking about? Because turtles can be kind of fishy, right?
They could be.
But I don't think Trinex can have the ice rod.
Why not?
It's a bit cold for him.
Well,
Doctor told him not to eat icy things.
I mean, you're the one who had ice cream last night.
And it was good. I was happy to finally share ice cream with Gamma.
As we mentioned before, that's one of the best things about SGL.
Doing things you would not get to do otherwise online.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could share an ice cream online, but it will get rather messy trying to come through those wires.
Yeah, and then you clog up the tubes, and your internet slows down. You can't run rando as effectively,
And then you hear bzzz, and then your power goes out.
Scaryolive double-checking, making sure that he has collected all the items and can proceed straight to the back.
Oh, he's making the gamble. He's collected 2 of the 3 items. The 3rd item is going to be on the Armos Knights. He's making that gamble on the big key chest that Megawatt did earlier. He's gonna see the third item on the Armos Knights.
That's what I was thinking.
All right, is chat correct?
Nope.
All right, well, there was a little bit of whiteness to the item that got grabbed there from the catfish, but
The fillet?
I don't think you can call that an ice rod.
You can call it a fillet.
Yes, you could.
You could also call it a bug net.
All right. And the other thing is, we're still 2 items from go mode, and Megawatt still has some auxiliary checks that could come into play. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the fast Armos kill for Scaryolive.
Now here's the question that's on my mind though. You find Bombos first. Do you just go to Turtle Rock and hope?
Ooh.
Like especially if you find it, say late, like it's on what's his name, the boss in the palace with the darkness, Helmasaur.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were asking me that. I'm sorry.
Well, it took me a while to get to that question, so it's fair that I lost you halfway through.
I mean, your brain is still frozen from the ice cream last night.
Very, very. So,
my mind apparently is frozen from the ice cream I didn't have last night.
because all that's really left after we finish Pod here is really Swamp Green Pennant and then whatever's in Turtle Rock, right? Like, have we seen pretty much everything else?
Well, there's a couple of checks. I mean, we saw that North Dark World that we've mentioned
Right, we're
before,
still
Graveyard
missing
Ledge
that.
and Bumper Ledge. We got another check that's going to be coming up here from Megawatt that Scaryolive could not do because he has not done Skull Woods yet.
Oh, the powder, right.
The powder churn-in.
I almost forgot about that.
All right. Do we have a bow-blocked bow? Well, we don't have a key. Now we have a key. And we have a piece of heart.
That
All
is
right.
the second item over here in the
Yep.
front.
So we now know that we are going to get remaining keys over this section, and Scaryolive is not going to even bother with the Staffles at this point. Oh, no, he is. Never mind.
Just to make sure that he has enough keys that, like, if he can go to Harmless Hellway and just go around that way if he needs to go to the boss.
That's very true. All right,
think that's
Magic
slightly
Bat.
faster.
Magic Bat time for Megawatt. And this turns out to be
The bombs.
bomb. It's not
Someone
bows.
someone took the again.
Yes, they did. We're going to have to find that on our label maker.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this isn't a case like with the E's that we're missing. We know where the E's went in 2019. It's just
Oh,
The
who took the
O's-
E's?
what?
Who took the E's?
The lane took the E's back in 2019. I'd like to blame Dante for losing the A's, but well, that's our fault for not having enough A's available for the number of A's that are in his name.
If I were more of a sports fan, I would have made a baseball joke there, but
I mean, the A's are a joke anyway. This stream on Speedgaming is not endorsed by the Oakland Athletics.
who?
The eventually becoming the Vegas Athletics.
They're doing that?
At some point in time, probably. Who knows?
Hey,
There's our
there's our
Bombos,
Bombos.
Dark Maze.
Now this is what I was talking about. Would you say continue to Helmet here because you're still missing at least one item in here?
I
Like,
have no idea.
because yes, we do have one item left on Helma,
And we are gone.
and we're leaving it. That is quite scary if Ice Rod is there.
Well, it is Scaryolive after all.
I mean, what are you gonna do? You can't be Mega Olive.
All right, Scaryolive's going to head over towards Skull Woods.
Finish that out, and then probably head up to Turtle Rock and hope and pray that Ice Rod's there.
Hanging a Burna. We found that earlier.
That pesky cane.
So Megawatt seems to be lining up for a trip into Green Pendant Swamp Palace. This race becomes spicy if the Ice Rod is here in Swamp.
Seemingly, maybe. I think it's more spicy if it is on Helma himself. Because if Megawatt finds Ice Rod here, he runs out of places that Bombos can be for him, whereas there is still a lot more places that Ice Rod could be for Olive.
Mm-hmm.
So, finding Ice Rod here, I think would swing things towards Megawatt's favor.
Right. That's why it turned spicy, though. Because Scaryolive has one major piece of this puzzle, the Bombos that's in Pendant Palace of Darkness.
Correct. Oh, good. Small key is vanilla.
Chat's talking about how this race is only getting spicier. I mean, this entire weekend has been very spicy. Between flipping races due to Turtle Rock mechanics and all these crazy seeds that we've had, Bombos coming into play last night, very much so in the tiebreaker race. Just been a crazy week here. All right, Specky.
Who?
Specky.
Whoa, that was crazy.
You can just launch ourselves over the ledge. Why not?
It's just a 16-pixel rail. Or an 8-pixel rail. I can't remember. I can't measure.
Let me go see if one of our help here has a measuring tape. That way we can see exactly how long that thing is.
They have measuring tapes that measure in pixels?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. Do you have to, like, order it special from, like, one of those construction websites?
Yeah, because you're not going to find that at that
orange
office
place?
supplies store. No, I was thinking more along the lines of that place that is a...
Maximum office facility?
Yes. Or that place that kept telling us that it was easy.
I don't know anything about Staples.
I guess this stream's not brought to you by them either.
Oh, darn, I was supposed to say Stapler. I know what I'm doing in these jokes, I swear. Getting arped check from Scaryolive there.
We're having
as
fun.
Megawott heads to left side swamp.
What's on left side swamp?
A sword, usually.
Yeah, but we already have the maximum sword.
Yeah, and I can't remember what it gets replaced by in this mode, whether it's a blue or... I think everything gets replaced by blue once it's unavailable.
There's just so many different things that these things get changed by. All right, Scaryolive is making the play. The play.
The rockiest of turtles.
Where are we going? Let's see. I mean, I know where we're going. It's just, where is our ice rod? Where is our Forsaken ice rod?
How is this going to turn out?
Very poorly.
Will it be Tears of Joy or Tears of Heartbreak? Or maybe even Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, gosh. All right, there's the Bombos for Scaryolive. That's blue, but it's not the blue we're looking for.
Believe one item left here in Swamp.
Plus the green pendant.
Plus pendant. Again, another reason we can't do math. Too many pluses.
There's the bombs for Megawatt. All right, off we go to Argus. Gotta love ice rod hunts. I mean, we keep talking about it.
It's everyone's favorite mode.
All right. Megawatt not trying for the 0 cycle Argus at this stage.
Still making pretty quick work of him.
Yeah. Just got to wait it out here for the end of this cycle. Has him pop up into the air.
Ooh, that was a weird.
That was a really weird bounce. But we finished off with the fight. And Argus. Ice Rod on Argus! And we'll let the Kirby's Epic Garden dramatic music there tell us everything we need to know about this seed. Megawatt just needs to go into the Palace of Darkness to claim go mode. Winner of this race gets gem in the quarterfinals. The loser is out in the tournament. However, the loser is not going away empty-handed. They will be given... What was the math that we decided on this?
Percentage?
I don't think we're going to even try to come up with a percentage, but they will get a small consolation for making it to the
This is
round
9 to 16?
Yep.
9 to 16, I believe, was a flat 25.
It was a flat 25.
And then getting into top 8 is 2.5%.
And when we're talking thousands of dollars in our prize pool, that is a lot of money already right there. And it's only going to get higher as we make our way towards the semifinalist coming up here tomorrow. But Megawatt is where he needs to be. And here's the worst thing for Scaryolive. Even if this wasn't an AGA required seed, you could not save your portal.
Nope. Because it's in swamp.
Yes, indeed. So I'm guessing really when it comes to Scaryolive, the worst thing that you want to see is the mushroom. More because that only would delay the inevitable by about 30 seconds.
It makes it sting just a little more.
Yeah.
Mushrooms are poisonous most of the time.
Well, sometimes they can make you grow in Mario games, right? Or go faster in Mario Kart.
I mean, that's true.
How about that? If you ever grab the mushroom and you don't turn it in, you go 10% faster.
What if we could use the mushroom instead of the Pegasus boots to go faster?
Let's not give the devs any ideas.
Definitely no ideas for April Fools. None.
So I think at this point in time, Megawatt is in a commanding spot. More because Scaryolive now has to stomach that next trip up to the mountain, which cancels out Megawatt's return up the mountain earlier to get the Moon Pearl.
Probably by even a little bit more than that.
Yeah, because of all this having to go back through Turtle Rock, too. And that's really where the trouble will show up in this seed. So yeah, if you have just tuned in, we have found all of one bow. It was on
Lumberjack.
Aga. It was behind Aga 1 at the Lumberjack. Ice Rod is located on Argus. Bombos is in the Dark Maze, bottom chest. That is what we are missing for the complete go mode for these runners. I think Megawott was going to go towards the Mimics and then realized that I've already been to the Mimics. There's no reason for me to try to make that fancy dash. All right, Boomerang, the Compass, and the Small Key, and Desperation in Scaryolive's face, and the shake of the head. Scaryolive knows that the Ice Rod is not here.
It is elsewhere.
Yep, and this becomes where you start to feel pain because you made a reasonable gamble. It is really a reasonable gamble that Scaryolive does, because there are many times where you will do this play and Turtle Rock will provide you with the answers. Just unfortunately this time, it does not. Had the Ice Rod been in that path,
Scaryolive's in a very good position if it were.
Yep. Scaryolive is in go mode, a great position, and as such has the path. But that's where luck comes down to. As Megawatt at 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 59 seconds has collected the bombos and is indeed the first of these runners into go mode.
Yay!
Yay, indeed. Up to Turtle Rock, and Megawatt doesn't need to do any checks outside of the keys and the big key,
Which is still basically everything.
which, depending on the routes, could be everything. Wind up heading over towards the... Let's see, we're going to head over towards Trinex. No need to stop at the Mimic Cave. What were the keys here in Turtle Rock? I'm trying to remember. Did we have...
There was 2 small keys between
there was one on Laser Bridge.
Roller Room and Chain Chomps. There was one on Laser Bridge. There was one in the big chest.
Okay, so we're not dealing with the 1 in 21.
No, we don't have to deal with the 4%.
Unfortunately, not that it's going to really matter in this race. And Scaryolive,
Might want to drain the
this
dam
race
first.
nerve starting to pile up right there as he pops into swamp without draining the water.
Can't tell you how many times I've done that too. So
I mean, I get it, but you can tell that now you're nervous, and you can see the expressions on these runners, but the expressions of the runners don't say it all, because internally you will go through these nerves. Like, you just made a play, it didn't pay off. Now you're starting to feel a little bit tense inside. So maybe you make an extra mistake, and that's what we see right here from Scaryolive.
yeah, because I wasn't paying attention the first time we were completely through, so that means that the big key is here in the Chain Chomp room coming up.
Pretty decent setup here for Megawatt to just blitz through this dungeon. Here's the Specky for Scaryolive. One more chance for you to say who.
No, those are owls that go who. Olives don't make noise, they're food, Rick.
What sound does a Specky make?
Boom?
Perhaps. Once again, be sure to give these runners a follow. Also, big thank you to Lady Laura Linda for doing the tracking here on Speedgaming 2. Also, big shout outs to our tech crew behind the scenes, making sure these races have gotten put onto the air. A lot of hard work from volunteers and by staff aplenty to get Speedgaming live here on the air from Herndon, Virginia.
And this actually does save Scaryolive some time here, going straight to the back instead of checking the left side. So,
Yeah.
gonna keep it at least a little bit close.
I think by the time Scaryolive gets back to Turtle Rock, he will be a full dungeon behind, though.
Probably about a bit, but that still could be just GT routing. and then GT execution on top of that. Like, it's still. I wouldn't call it over for Scaryolive, but it's definitely gonna need a little bit of hustle out of him.
It's in Megawatt's favor at this point. The race isn't over. We could see what winds up happening in GT. Maybe Scaryolive makes a play that Megawatt won't, because he felt like he just has to stomach another trip up to the mountain. Who knows? All 3 of our pendant dungeons were required. Hera had the Moon Pearl.
Yep.
Pod had the Bombos.
Yep.
And Swamp Palace has the Ice Rod.
Ice Rod Palace had the swamp, yes.
There it is. So Scaryolive into go mode, what was it, maybe like 5-ish minutes after Megawatt, maybe 4.5.
Yeah, so it looks like you're about right on that time distance between the 2 runners. Megawatt will be probably killing Trinex here about the time that Scaryolive is re-entering Turtle Rock.
Yep, and Scaryolive, because he's already done Turtle Rock up to Laser Bridge, won't have to go back through the roller room or whatnot. We'll have to get around this Dead Rock, however, because Dead Rocks are the best thing in this game.
Everyone's favorite.
All right, through the second round of Dead Rocks. Third round of Dead Rocks aren't as bad, but the fourth one is the one that we're looking forward to, or not looking forward to. All right. Megawatt finishing off with the Trinex beautiful second stage of that fight. And with that, Megawatt has collected crystal number 7. Amarith, I know we normally do some sort of guessing game when somebody has 7, but I don't know. I don't know if I feel like doing it at this point in time. Chat, give me some inspiration. Tell me, should I ask you about the numbers? Oh, well, what the use? They're already putting numbers in the chat.
I was going to say, they're probably already doing numbers.
They've already flooded chat at this point in time. I see you over there with the 20s and the 21s and the 22s.
Where are you putting your guess today, Rick?
I am going to say number 8.
8. I'm going to go with 13.
And let's see. Nope, I don't have anything here. You know what? I actually was going to have a prop when I was down here, but the only thing I put into my pocket here is a Zelda 1 Link sprite here. That's all I put in my pocket, so I didn't grab the big key from Dante earlier. I should have. Wasted opportunity. All right. 1 key. 2 key.
Hey, there's Ether.
Useless medallion. No. 3 key.
3 keys in the front. That's impressive. Though every time I come in here, I do hope to find that 0 key front. One of these days, I'll get it.
I mean, you could always have a 0 key front and cross keys.
Yes, but I'm talking normal seeds.
I know what you're talking about. All right. Dashing the block. All right. Is it over here? Not yet. And no.
So we head on down to the map room and rando room. So if Scaryolive goes straight left, that puts him a little bit closer to Megawatt here.
And these runners still have not a great amount of health. Wait, both green rupees were here. That's great. Thank
That's
you,
funny.
game. You're marvelous. There's crystal number 7 for Scaryolive.
As he will also be heading into GT now.
Yes. I mean, we could ask you now to put in your numbers in the chat where you think the big key's going to be, but that would just be a facade. Besides, chat's ignoring us at this point. They're already looking forward to the next Link to the Past randomizer race that we have coming up.
Well, yeah, they started ignoring us when Ped was dead.
Right. Once Megawatt read the inscription, that was it. They were done. Silvers.
Perfect. We love silvers. So let's see. What does that put us to? We've got 4 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1? Is that 6? Or is that 5?
I lost count.
Was it 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 or 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1?
My head is starting to hurt.
I get that reference.
Lady Laura Linda saying that they get the reference.
Hooray, one person gets me at least.
I think more people get you. I'm sure you'll come up and you'll see a bunch of DMs after you're done with this with people saying, I get you, Amerith.
Which is surprising. Alrighty, are we vanilla?
Hey, Talon gets your clue reference.
Alright, and we were in fact vanilla on that big key. And okay, oh good, Megawatt does at least have 1 key for climbing.
When has anyone ever climbed up the tower with 0 keys?
Oh,
Whenever have they?
I've never done that.
I've never done that before either. Don't watch the VOD from my league week 7 race from last year.
So, such events are usually precluded by, oh no.
Pretty much. I believe that was the way the voice call was for that co-op Enemizer 2. I'm sure that oh no was haunting an Orange's mind in that week.
Alright, as we start the gauntlet for Megawatt here. Silver arrows, so it should be pretty easy.
Alright. Gauntlet's not going extremely well for Megawatt. These Daffles are giving him the business.
They tend to.
And you can see the head shakes of Megawatt in this case here. Just not feeling comfortable here because this has just been not a normal gauntlet for Megawott, and he knows it. And you also, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the race, and I will state it again. You do have to remember that the setup that these runners are doing, they're not playing on their normal television sets. They're not playing, and I think that might be one of the bigger things. They're also not playing on a stream in a quiet, cozy room at their home. They're playing here on a stage here in Herndon, Virginia, and that's a different environment.
Yeah, it'll definitely screw you up a little bit.
And the runners, they can hear their game audio, but they also can hear the white noise, which is meant to make sure that they can't hear the crowd behind us
Or what we're saying.
myself or you. I see Chad doing the is this even randomized aspect for the big key. Where was that when we had the Vanilla Moon Pearl?
And that Vanilla 300 and just so much vanilla.
And the Vanilla Sword.
And the Vanilla Sword, yes.
Also, big shout-outs to not only the volunteers here, but also the great people that have stepped on stepped up for commentary for these races. We had a lot of great names.
Oh yeah. And they'll be commenting some of the many, many, many upcoming matches that we'll have here in a little bit. No, I'm not mistaken. This is the last match that we have of the
Round of 16.
round of 16. Yeah, I was like, what's that? What's that round called? What's the number?
The round of 16, which had a few races that were starting up in a few hours ago downstairs in the tournament room, which of course I could get on my phone. I can see what the results are if I really have the chance to do so, but I'll save that for when we get to the end of the seed.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, here we go. Agate 2. Time for the trigonometry lesson.
Will Agate 2 be kind today? Or will he once again prove that no one in this community can do math?
Well, we start off with a beautiful triple. And we can't even get the triple there because of that blue. But we're just going to get one final hit, and we're off to Gannon.
Yay!
Put a little more enthusiasm in it.
Yay.
It's been fun doing commentary with you. I know this was one of the many people that said they wanted to do commentary with me here at Speed Gaming Live. Hopefully I haven't let you down.
Oh no, this has been a blast. Because have we ever actually gotten to do commentary not live? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Because it's been a long time coming.
Oh yeah. I'll paste the bracket in chat shortly.
Gannon talking about his bug collection.
Also, you can get more information about Speed Gaming Live at sglive.speedgaming.org. Ooh, ouch. Those bats hurt.
Yeah, use that potion, just make sure.
Yeah, because the hand hasn't gone up in the air on the other side of the room, so Megawott doesn't want to do something that would cause him to lose control of this race. Little does he know he does have a little bit of a buffer here, as Scaryolive is on the 5th floor. But I think SpeedGaming.challenge.org is where you can go to get the bracket for now. All right, so 2 final hits coming up here for Megawatt, and Megawatt is going to be moving on to the quarterfinals.
Yay. Get your GGs in chat for Megawott.
And with that, crossing the bridge and about ready to go into the door, it's going to be Megawatt and Gem in the quarterfinals. And with that, Scaryolive takes off the headphones and says GG's to Megawatt. All right, coming up here in just a few, we'll get the runners down here. We will talk about things. And then the runners will go cower into a corner.
And think about what they've done.
Yes, indeed. And as Lady Laura Linda scampers off over towards our side, it will make room for this upcoming interview. Do want to thank Lady Laura Linda for clicking the buttons, making the icons appear. We do thank you for your great work.
I'm sorry?
We do thank you for your great work.
And calling that Quake.
And calling that Quake, that's right. I just realized you're sure of the I give 0 Fox.
I felt that was appropriate enough.
I mean, that's what the runners think about the seed sometimes.
Sometimes.
All right. So with that, we will go ahead. First of all, we got to give this over here to Megawatt. And we already have the microphone over here to Scaryolive. So it was the battle of the Bombos hunt versus the battle for the ice rod hunt. Yeah, any thoughts here over on your side, Scaryolive?
Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. I mean, it's random. Sometimes you find the good order, sometimes you find the wrong order. I'm happy with my route. I think I played well, except the execution on bus was it was not good. But otherwise, I think I routed good. But just today, the ice rod was not on Laser Bridge.
Right, and at the beginning of this race, we were thinking about that good route versus the unfortunate route. And for Megawatt, it was the rough route for you, having to find out you had to stomach a second trip up to the mountain to get that Vanilla Moon Pearl. Your thoughts about that?
I mean, that wasn't really the big thing that was on my mind this seed. The big thing for me was, and so I have a bit of an issue with like nerves, right?
Yeah.
I have a really hard time dealing with those sometimes, and on top of the fact that I also tend to tilt a little bit when my execution doesn't really go the way I want it to. After that Dark Aga Tower for my bow, it just kind of snowballed a little bit, and like that was the main thing on my mind more than the Pearl on the mountain. Like that was fine. I figured like rather than go back up to Hera there, I just wanted to go ahead and okay, I'll just gamble on Aga, and there's like no other bows hopefully available, so I'll just have that single dip Eastern, and then it wasn't there, so it's like whatever, I gotta go back anyway, it's fine.
And I think it's really good that you bring up the runner nerves here, because that's an underlying thing that people don't ever get to see, even on the cameras, as you runners do shake your heads and things like that to show some distaste towards some of the things, but the internal butterflies, the internal nerves that you have to deal with is an underlying value that is underappreciated in some of these races.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't mean to like downplay myself since I won. I know that's kind of rude, but
But we all get it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that getting into your own head kind of thing. That's sort of
Exactly.
like it'll mess with you over the course of the run. You're just like, oh, I could have been doing this better this entire time, and just like trying to help make sure you don't beat yourself up over it and think like how much better your opponent could be doing.
Yeah.
And it's a different environment here where you're on a stage, you have cameras, you have people watching, you have a crowd that
Oh yeah.
that
for
do
sure.
whoa when you do something. So it's not like when you're at home and you're
Catch like
when
something
you come to
out
set
of,
up.
out of the side of your peripheral, like.
And even commentators who go like this when you find an item.
Yeah. Like I said to Megawott, like I tried not to meta game, but I kind of knew the ice rod was not in Turtle Rock because, like, the crowd wowed when I got Bumbos, so I knew I was the first one to get it, and I knew there was another wow I didn't get yet. So, but I decided not to meta game, and I just went ahead with the play I would have done normally.
Right.
But,
And that was, of course, when Argus dropped the ice rod. I think was when the other big
Yeah,
ooh
yeah.
came into play.
it could have been the bow, so, but yeah. But no, it was fun tournament. Now I can go and enjoy myself doing other things.
Yeah, any plans for the remainder of your SGL?
I would like to go to Washington, see the White House and stuff.
Nice.
But and other than that, I would just partake in social activities.
Nice.
So-
And there's a lot of things to do in regard to
Yeah.
social
I'm gonna watch
activities
the
around
finals as well. And,
I mean, definitely a lot of things to do here at SGL, and we do thank you for being a part of SGL and
Yeah.
being here in Herndon, Virginia. And hopefully you do get to go see Washington, D.C., but you aren't going to go away empty-handed. You will, as a runner in the bracket phase, will be getting that $25 prize.
$25 US, that's like 40 Canadians.
Very true.
I got the good exchange rate.
All right, let's turn over here to you, Megawatt. Next up for you is Gem.
Yeah. Obviously a little nervous about that match as well. Gem's like one of, if not the best casual boots players in the entire scene, so I'm just gonna try to do my thing, play my game, and try to clean up my my brain space a little bit, so I'm not falling apart at the seams in the next race.
Yeah, and going into the quarterfinals here, I don't think there's any name that you feel like you could draw and be like, oh yeah, I feel comfortable playing that person. It's just like everyone's just like I'm worried about going against this person because everyone is just so good at this point. It's just
Yeah.
like.
That being said, I'm more than satisfied if I end up losing to Gem too, because like I already made top 8. I feel pretty good about how I played.
And, having to run the gauntlet that you did already through groups and then now running through this gauntlet of the brackets, that it's a tough tournament.
For sure.
The winner will have earned their chops here. But
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it otherwise. I think it's going to be a fun match.
Yeah, so GG's to both of you. How about a round of applause for both of these runners?
And best of luck to you versus Gem.
Thank you.
All right,
All
GG's
right.
again.
All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here on Speed Gaming 2. Keep an eye out on the schedule because we got a lot of other great things coming up here. For instance, right now over on another channel, we have Ocarina of Time taking place. We also have FSNC3 going on as they get their way through their bracket phase into their semifinals. Later on, we also have the Wind Waker loser finals coming up here in a little bit. Also, the Final Fantasy 1 winners finals will be coming up. I believe the winners finals for Final Fantasy 1 is coming up on this channel in just a little bit. So for Lady Laura Linda, thank you once again for doing the tracking. Amerith, this has been fun.
It's always been fun. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. I'm Matt Aranda Crick. I'll let Amerith say the final words here.
Pie. And goodbye. Good night.
Have a nice evening, everyone.